All right, today we're going to be making an espresso shot without any equipment. Basically, you need hot water and coffee beans and a coffee grinder, which mine's over there. And I grind them on a medium fine setting. For this particular method, you don't want to make your coffee grounds too fine because I've done that. I've made it an espresso grind, which is considered very fine. And they ended up, I would get some grinds in my coffee because I'm filtering it out using something like this. And we are going to start by measuring our coffee into our little glass. I use 3 tablespoons full. I make them level so that it's not too, you don't want to do heaping. I mean, you can if you want that strong, but it's going to end up being very strong. I recommend trying this way first, and then if you feel like you need more, you can always do that on your next one, right? There we have our 3 tablespoons in our little glass. All right, so the water is just about to boil. This is a very important tip that you need to remember to do, and that is once your water boils, you want to bring it to a complete boil and then let it sit for at least 20 seconds. I mean, 15 maybe. You definitely want to let it sit, otherwise it's going to end up being too hot, and then you're going to burn your coffee grounds and you're going to get a very, very bitter, burnt tasting espresso shot. So it's been about 20 seconds. I like to do a little circular motion as I pour. So while we're pouring, we're just gonna make little circles. As you can see, we're already getting some crema on top, which that's what you want with a good espresso. So we're gonna leave that for about a minute. I'm setting a timer. I set a timer for 3 minutes, and at the 1 minute mark, I'm going to stir it. So we stir these in, and then we let it sit for another 2 minutes. I steep mine for 3 minutes total, sometimes a little bit longer. Okay, so we're going to strain it. One thing that I like to do before I strain it is heat my cup up. And that is how you make an espresso without any equipment. I think that's how you say that word. Oh, that's pretty good. I actually steeped that one a lot longer because I was filming. It's bitter, but it's strong. So what I figured out, I've tested it several times, is that if you steep it for 3 minutes, it's not going to be bitter. You'll have a nice flavor. If I steep it for 4 minutes, then I end up with a bit more of a, what's the word? I have a bitter shot, but it still tastes good at 4 minutes. I find when you go past 4 minutes, it tends to be more bitter. But if you're planning on using it in some sort of drink, like a latte or an iced coffee or something like that, you aren't going to notice it really. But that just depends on your taste. So this is your little espresso shot, and now it's ready to use. And I'll show you how I'm gonna strain it out into my cup. I'm actually putting it, I'll do my shaker cup, but I want to show you what I mean. Something that I do is I don't pour all of the coffee in. I let it sit for a little bit because there is a thick layer of sludge that I will show you is on the bottom of this. But there's a lot of thick stuff in that part. Yeah, I don't like that. It's got all the grounds in it. If you can, let it settle for about a minute, and then you can pour slowly into whatever you're doing, and then you won't get all this sludge because it's not very good in your drink. If you don't, it will also settle to the bottom in your drink, so don't be too worried about it.